Good evening. The Cypress-Fairbanks Independent School District Board of Trustees are now convened in a regular meeting on Monday, August 12th, 2019, in the boardroom of the Cypress-Fairbanks Independent School District Instructional Support Center located at 10300 Jones Road, Houston, Texas at 6 p.m. I want to welcome the members of our audience and our television viewers to this meeting of the Board of Trustees. As the Cypress-Fairbanks Board of Trustees, we are here to set goals, listen to reports from the superintendent, approve budgets, contracts, personnel appointments, and make policy for the district. It is not the role of the board to make day-to-day operational decisions. The management and day-to-day operations of the district are the responsibility of the superintendent. We have policies and procedures in place to resolve concerns and issues. This is a public meeting of the Board of Trustees, not a meeting of the public. Prior to this meeting, board members received information related to items on tonight's agenda. Agenda items will not necessarily be handled in the order listed on the notice. The meeting is open to all who wish to attend and hear matters discussed. During the course of this meeting, the board may determine that a closed session is necessary. In that event, the board will meet in closed session to consider matters duly posted for this meeting as permitted by 551.071 through 551.084 of the Texas Government Code. These proceedings are airing live on CFTV Channel 16 and CFTV Online on the district website. They will also be rebroadcast throughout the month on Channel 16 and available as video on demand on the website. For the tape to adequately reflect the proceedings, I respectfully ask that you please refrain from talking while others are speaking, and that cell phones are turned off or in silent mode. Thank you for taking time to join us this evening. It is wonderful to have a full house tonight, and we're thankful for your interest in the Cypress-Fairbanks Independent School District. I'd like to also take this opportunity to recognize our community leadership members who are here attending, and tonight, Kelly Ray, would you please stand? Leslie Martone and Danica Smith-With. We're glad to have you all. Let's stand. We're also happy to have some Boy Scouts in our audience tonight. Louis Durney from Troop 1283. Would you stand, Louis? And Braden Pena from Troop 277. There's Braden. Our invocation for tonight's board meeting will be given by Dale Inman. He is the new pastor of Autumn Creek Baptist Church and has been in the Cypress area for over 35 years. Pastor Inman seeks to support and serve our students and families not only through hard times, but to teach them service to others, work ethics, and the fulfillment of self-work and that volunteering can bring. He is a professor and teacher himself. Dale, we appreciate, we're so glad to have you tonight to support our students and families. Would everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? The invocation first, and then the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to pray for this district tonight. I went to Aldine. I don't know if you all know Carver High School is where I went, over in that area of town. And my wife's a teacher at Willis, and I'm actually a board member in Conroe. Right. And I pastor a church here in Cyfair, so it's that whole North Houston area.
Oh, wow.
I've got ties in all of them. But I just want to pray for us tonight and for this district. If you would bow with me in prayer, please. Our most loving, gracious, and merciful Father, we meet this evening to conduct the business of Cyfair Independent School District. And while Cyfair ISD is independent of many things, Help us to remember that our community is dependent upon you. I ask for your blessing on this team of 8 that's here tonight at Cy-Fair. Bless them, their families, the students, the teachers, the parents, taxpayers, and other stakeholders whom this board makes decisions for. We may be of diverse ideas and perspectives, but Father, please let this community find unity in decisions that serve all of us. You are the giver of all good gifts. We thank you for Dr. Henry as he leads this great organization in a safe, efficient, and productive manner. This is in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. After you join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Our vision and mission statement will be given by Dorsey Mingo.
Thank you, Dr. Ogletree. Our vision statement: learn, empower, achieve, dream, lead. Our mission statement: maximize every student's potential through rigorous and relevant learning experiences, preparing students to be 21st century leaders.
We're happy tonight to take this time to honor former board member Christine Hartley. Christine, where are you? Right there. Come on.
Y'all want to join me down there? Y'all want to join me down there?
Okay.
Got you, Bush. Really appreciate your service.
Yeah, isn't there a plaque right there? Or not?
Not every day. I'm so proud of you for stepping in. Thank you so much. Mother, if I could thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bless you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
We'll now move on to the recognitions portion of our agenda. 1A, the board will recognize Cypress Woods High School students for their accomplishment of becoming state champions. Woo. Come on, give it up. At the UIL State Academic Meet, Cypress Woods.
Dr. Ogletree, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Henry, it is my pleasure to present to you tonight Cypress Woods students and faculty who have contributed to the Wildcats achieving an historic victory. In May, Cypress Woods was the first CFISD high school to win the 6A UIL Academic State Championship. There is a significant amount that goes into winning this award. The UIL Academics program is comprised of a variety of different contests across every content area. Students compete as individuals and in teams, and when they place, they earn points towards their school becoming the overall sweepstakes winner. There are 39 categories in which students can earn points in everything from accounting, computer science, theater, digital media, debate, journalism, and of course the 4 content subject areas such as number sense, a test in mental math, ready writing an ELA essay contest, a comprehensive science test that includes biology, chemistry, and physics, and a social studies contest that covers both historical and current events. Each one of these 39 contests has its individual winners. To be named the academic state champion, as Cy Woods has achieved, means that a campus not only performed well in a single area, but that it comprehensively did the best overall across all these events out of all 6A high schools in Texas. Cy Woods topped the academic charts with an overall point total of 105.5 points. To put this in perspective, it was the only school in Texas to break 100 points. On the way to the state title, Cy Woods also won its regional title when competing at Baylor University in April, and for 9 of the past 10 years, Cy Woods has held its district title as well. Tonight, I'd like to recognize the students and teachers who have contributed to this state championship and the academic UIL legacy at Cy Woods High School. Students and teachers, as I call you up, we have medals we would like to give you to commemorate this championship. Please remain in the front until everyone has come forward so that we can then recognize the group as a whole. I'll start with our first place state accounting team, which included Zach Foster, Fernando Mercado, Henry Thurman, and Aish Gupta. Zach, who's up here with us, in addition to contributing to the overall team award, he also won the individual accounting state championship.
Yeah.
Cy Woods also had state champions in 2 computer-based contests. In the computer applications contest, students are tested on their ability to integrate Microsoft programs, including the use of spreadsheets and databases. Placing first in this contest was Sam Armstrong. And placing third in this contest was Tristan Wisapapi. In computer science, this contest challenges students to apply their programming skills using Java. Tristan, who is up here, placed first in this contest as well among the individual winners. And Stephen Chang placed second in this contest. As a group, Tristan, Stephen, and Sam, who are up here, won second place as a team, along with their teammate Anad Ayer, who could not be with us tonight. In the theater categories, student Sarah Swift won first place for scenic design for her creative and artistic Willy Wonka set. There are several teachers at Cy Woods who have dedicated themselves to sponsoring these students and academic competition. I'd first, he's up here, like to recognize sponsor of computer science, Stacy Armstrong. Mr. Armstrong not only coaches his computer science students, but he also is the campus UIL academic coordinator at Cy Woods High School, so he's leading this championship group. Next is Kathy Austin, who works side by side with Mr. Armstrong to help run this machine of UIL that we have at Cy Woods. For accounting, we have Janice Walker. For computer applications, Kevin Saraki. For theater and one-act play, Toby Drake. For spelling and vocabulary, Debbie English. For ready writing, Rebecca Gurgis. For speech and debate, Jacob Koshak. And for mathematics, T. Chang. Unable to be with us tonight is social studies, John Kent, journalism, Stacy Slaughter, and science, Shelley Solis. Finally, I would like to say, as we have the teachers up here, I was the district coordinator for UIL for the past 5 years, and I just want to personally thank the Cywoods teachers that are standing up here, because if I needed someone to volunteer to grade a contest, proctor a contest, these teachers always step up and help out and go way beyond the call of duty. So thank you for always being there to help out. Finally, I'd like to present the 6A Academic State Championship Trophy to the leadership team at Cywoods, whose support and commitment is why these programs have flourished. So I'd like to bring up Associate Principal Dirk Heath and Director of Instruction Kelly Ellis to join Principal Gary Kinninger for me to give them their trophy. Cywoods, I know how much you have invested in UIL, and I'm so proud to present you these awards tonight on the well-deserved recognition for your tireless efforts in this championship. Thank you.
You might have just put horns on somebody there.
Quite an achievement, quite an achievement. Christine, we omitted this. Do you have family members in the audience? Would you come up and, let's see, where's the microphone? Yeah, grab and introduce your family members.
Okay, all right. Thank you. And I couldn't have done this job for 8 years without the support of my family. My husband is actually in North Dakota right now for work. My oldest daughter is student teaching in Baton Rouge. The Louisiana schools went back August 6th, so she's already in the classroom and everything. But I do have my middle daughter, Hayden Hartley, here with me, and I have Brennan Hartley, my youngest. Y'all can stand up and wave to people. Hayden was in 7th grade when I started campaigning, and I think Brennan was in 2nd grade, and now Hayden's a junior in college. So it's just kind of crazy how time flies. And then I have my mom and my stepdad. So this is Judith and Mackie Evans. Stand up. Say hello. And the fun family fact is that my mom was Judith Bain, and so Bain Elementary is named after her grandfather. So anyway, just thank you. Thank you, John.
Wow. The 1B, the superintendent will make remarks and announcements, including the honors and achievements earned by staff and students in recent weeks. Hold on.
Okay.
Don, thank you. The students that were recognized, if you have parents, any of the parents, would you please stand of these students that were recognized tonight from Cypress Woods? Any parents? Yes. Thank you. All right.
Ready?
I think we can go.
Thank you, Dr. Ogletree, trustees, and Christine, thank you so much, having been here pretty much all of the time that I guess all the time you served on the board. Certainly appreciate your service. And, when people ask me why I'm in Cypher ISD, I said, well, number one, I'm lucky, but I'm blessed to serve with such a great group of people over the past 8+ years. So thank you for your service. And then I have to tell you, when I heard that y'all won that academic state championship, I literally left the floor. I was so excited about that. I don't know that there's any state championship that a superintendent covets more than one that's connected to academics. So I'm so proud of y'all for all of your great work and dedication and sponsors. I know how difficult it is. I've served on the UIL Legislative Council for 20 years, and it sure is nice to go back and say, well, I got a gold medal for academics. So thank y'all for making that happen. In finding new ways to be engaged with the CFISD community, the district's police department recently completed its first ever junior police academy at Cypress Ridge and Cypress Springs High Schools. The academy provided students ages 9 and 10 a week of learning and activities helping foster the relationship between officers and their constituents. More than 300 students attended Summer Tech Camp 2019 at Woodard Elementary School. The 2-week camp put on by the CFISD Instructional Technology Department is in its 15th year. The camp allowed students the opportunities to sign up and attend sessions of their choice, including WeVideo, Photoshop, Ozobots, and hands-on circuits, to name a few. Each day closed with the opportunity for camp attendees to lead their parents or guests on a tour of the sessions and showcase what they have learned. We recently selected 8 new principals, and so I'll turn it over to Roy Garcia to begin the introductions. Roy.
Thank you, Dr. Henry. President Ogletree and Board of Trustees, yes, tonight we are excited to introduce to you and to the CFISD community our 8 new principals. And our first announcement this evening is for our new principal for Adam Elementary School, Mrs. Stephanie Thomas. Stephanie received her Bachelor of Science from the University of Houston and her Master of Educational Leadership from Sam Houston State University. Ms. Thomas has 19 years of experience in education. She began her career as a 5th grade math and science teacher at Alief ISD before joining Cypress-Fairbanks as a 3rd grade teacher at Reed Elementary. She also served as an at-risk specialist at Reed. Stephanie served as an assistant principal at Horn Elementary for 6 years and 7 years as the principal at Horn. She is a graduate of the Houston Transformational School Leadership Consortium, the Rice Educational Entrepreneurship Program, and the National Principal Mentor Certification Program. When Stephanie is not serving her students and family, she loves to read, garden, and run marathons. Stephanie and her husband James have 6 children and 1 precious granddaughter. Their youngest children, Jacob and John, who are twins, are attending Langham Creek High School and are members of the Lobo Marching Band. Please join me in congratulating Stephanie Thomas.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ogletree, Board of Trustees, Dr. Henry. Thank you for the opportunity to serve Adam Elementary, the students, the community, and the staff. As a former student of Arnold Middle School and graduate of Cy-Fair High School, it is a pure pleasure and honor to be able to serve the community that helped raise me, motivate me, and support me through my educational career in Cy-Fair ISD. Adam Elementary is definitely a school of tradition and excellence, and I look forward to working with the team of professionals to provide our students the best learning opportunities possible every single day. I would like to go ahead and thank, first of all, my Horn family that supported me for years at Horn Elementary for 13 years, but my new love and family, our leadership team here at Adam Elementary, who has been so incredibly supportive and welcoming and is truly dedicated to student success, as well as my parents who are with me here. Their support is just forever. That's the only thing I can think of to say, and I appreciate everything that they do. And then my husband, James, Jimmy, who puts up with me every evening, but helps me lead strong with both our family and our students and everybody we serve. So thank you for this opportunity. I'm truly blessed and excited.
Thank you, Stephanie. Our next announcement is for our new principal for Duryea Elementary School, Mrs. Tamika Williams. Tamika received her Bachelor of Science in Education from Stephen F. Austin State University and her Master of Elementary Education from Prairie View A&M University. Ms. Williams has 25 years of experience in the profession. She served 14 years as a classroom teacher. She served as an elementary and middle school teacher in Lufkin, Stafford, and Katy ISD, and in addition, she served as an instructional specialist in Katy. She joined Cypress-Fairbanks as an assistant principal at Lee Elementary School in 2010, a position she held for 7 years. Tamika served as a principal at Post Elementary School for the past 2 years. Tamika loves spending time with her husband, Damon, and their 2 children, Ryan and Ethan. Ryan will be a freshman in high school, and Ethan will be in the 5th grade. She loves traveling and cheering from the stands at Ryan's volleyball games and Ethan's football games. Tamika has served as an assistant principal mentor, a summer school principal, and participated in the Aspiring Principals Institute. Please join me in congratulating Tamika Williams.
Good evening to Dr. Ogletree, Dr. Henry, and the board. I am truly excited to be a member of the Duryea family. My husband thanks you as well because it allows me to get 40 minutes closer to home. Duryea has a rich tradition of excellence. They have a dedicated staff, and I look forward to being with them every single day as we work toward greatness with every student, every opportunity given, and again, every single day. I would be remiss, my family was not able to join me today. My husband's serving a daddy duty. We have Meet the Teacher night tonight. Fort Bend ISD starts school on Wednesday. And so he is at Meet the Teacher night. He's picking up Ryan from varsity volleyball. She's a freshman at varsity. It's my bragging moment. But thank you all for allowing me to serve at Duryea Elementary, and I look forward to being a Duryea Dolphin and welcoming our students on August 26th, my birthday.
Thank you, Tamika. Our next announcement is for our new principal for Post Elementary School, Dr. Karen Stockton. Karen received her Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education from the University of Houston, her Master in Counseling from Prairie View A&M University, and her Doctor of Education in Professional Leadership from the University of Houston. She has 27 years of experience as an educator. She served as a teacher at Bain, Metcalf, and Holmesley Elementary, and as a counselor at Lampkin and Burks Elementary. Karen also served as an assistant principal at Burks before being selected as the principal at Leader Elementary School. She served as principal at Leader for the past 8 years. Karen is a graduate of the National Principal Mentor Certification Program and the Rice Educational Entrepreneurship Program. She served as a mentor for new principals and is a field supervisor for the University of Houston's Master's Cohort. Karen enjoys jogging, riding horses, and spending time by the pool with her family. Her husband, Darren, is a Cy-Fair High School graduate. They have a daughter, Ashley, who is a Cypress Woods graduate and a teacher at Wells Elementary, and a son, Blaine, who is an 8th grader at Salyards Middle School. Besides her children, her pride and joy is her grandson, Colin. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Karen Stockton.
Thank you, Dr. Ogletree, Dr. Henry, Board of Trustees. I am so thankful that you afforded me the opportunity to serve at yet another school in Cy-Fair ISD. I'm so proud to be a member of the Post family, and sad to have left my Leader family. So Post, if you're here, would you please just, there's my new Post family, and then my Leader family's here, of course. Wave to me. There they are. Dinah, I know, you're probably, where's Dinah? She's over there. Dinah, I love you too. Anyway, I'm so very excited and thankful to be a Post patriot. And I'd like to recognize my family that is here today, my husband, Darren, and my daughter, Ashley, and son-in-law, Shane. Shane also is a graduate of Cy Woods High School. And so I'm looking forward to this new endeavor and ready for our kids on the 26th. Thank you very much.
Next is our new principal for Leader Elementary School, Miss Dinah McMichael. Dinah received her Bachelor of Science in Education from Ouachita Baptist University and her Master of Administration from Lamar University. She has 13 years of experience as an educator. She served as a second and third grade teacher and as an instructional specialist and Title I coach at Yeager Elementary School. Dinah served as an assistant principal at Horn Elementary for 4 years. She was then selected as the assistant principal to open Woodard Elementary in 2015. Dinah is a graduate of the Rice Educational Entrepreneurship Program and participated in the Aspiring Principal Institute. She is a member of the CFISD Leadership Development Advisory Committee as well as the Student Emotional Wellbeing Committee. She has served as an assistant principal mentor and as a summer school principal. Dinah enjoys spending time with friends and family, volunteering in the community, reading, and being outdoors. She and her husband, Matthew, have a 1-year-old son, Ezra, who goes to school at one of our early learning centers. Please join me in congratulating Dinah McMichael.
Thank you all. Dr. Ogletree, board, Dr. Henry, I just have to say thank you so much for this opportunity. I am equally honored and grateful to be standing here and to be a part of the Leader staff. One of the best decisions I've ever made is to come to Cy-Fair. When Dr. Henry says that there is opportunity for all, there is truly opportunity for all of our students, all of our staff members, and our community. I'd also like to thank my family and friends who are here with me today. If you wouldn't mind, please stand up, because we are who we are because of our people, right? So I'll start over there. This is some of my Woodard people. This is Corey Harris and Corbin and LaShonda, counselor at Woodard, Principal Susan Bruns from Woodard. This is my family over here, Rachel Rucker, Linda Rucker, Luke Rucker, and Randy Rucker, my aunt and uncle and cousins, my mom, Camille. My dad is sick tonight, so he's not here, but they are standing in the gap often whenever I'm at school, and this little guy, yes, he's eating to try to stay busy. This is my incredible husband, Matthew, my friend JC, and my brother Andrew, Mo, Melinda, their kids, Marissa, Mackenzie, MJ, all from Cy-Fair, and Annie. And then my Leader family, if you'll stand up, because they have made this transition smoothless. They love Dr. Stockton, but they've been awesome. My secretary, Kathy, and my APs, Susan Bellato and Christine Ashmead. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is our principal for Fraser Elementary School, Mr. Michael Pagano. Michael received his Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education from Brigham Young University and his Master of Educational Administration from Stephen F. Austin State University. Michael has 15 years as a professional educator. He served as a second grade teacher in Spanish Fork, Utah before joining Cypress-Fairbanks as a teacher at Post Elementary in 2005. After teaching 5 years, he was selected as the assistant principal at Post. He served in this capacity for 8 years. Michael also served as an assistant principal at Fraser Elementary. Michael participated in the Aspiring Principal Institute and has served as a summer school principal at Bain, Fraser, Bang, and Post Elementary Schools. And he is an Eagle Scout. When Michael is not working, he enjoys spending time and traveling with his wife, Marguerite, and their 3 boys, Bradley, who will be in the 6th grade, Andrew, who will be in the 4th grade, and Jake, who will be starting kindergarten. Please join me in congratulating Michael Pagano.
Excuse me, Dr. Ogletree, Board of Trustees, Dr. Henry. It is truly an honor to stand before you today to be given this wonderful opportunity to serve as the next principal at Fraser Elementary. I am deeply honored and truly excited for the chance I have to continue to lead our wonderful students at Fraser and to work with such a wonderful community. As I start this new adventure, I would not be here today without my beautiful wife, Marguerite, who has been there to support me, has been by my side each and every day. And of course, my beautiful boys with my oldest, Bradley. I'm going to make you stand up, actually, Bradley. My middle son, Andrew, and then my youngest, who's actually hiding down on the floor right now, who will be starting kindergarten this year, and so we are excited. Of course, I also want to thank my parents, my mom and my dad, Kathy and Jen, and then my baby brother who is here, Justin. I truly wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for so many wonderful family members, staff members, teachers that I've had the chance to work with, assistant principal partners, Gail and Kim, who have supported me, and of course the wonderful staff at Cy-Fair. I have truly learned so much working side by side by so many wonderful leaders. And of course, one of my mentors growing up in the education profession, Missy Kilday, who gave me my first opportunity as a young teacher to move into the assistant principal role, and being able to grow under her and of course under Tamika and Gloria Vasquez as principals. I am truly honored, and I look forward to our first day of school where all my Fraser students come back to us and have the opportunity to continue to challenge them and to help them to grow and to reach their dreams. Thank you.
Our next announcement is for our new principal at Horn Elementary School, Mrs. Tracy Bennett. Tracy received her Bachelor of Arts in English and a Master of Instructional Leadership from the University of Oklahoma and a Master of Educational Leadership from Sam Houston State University. She is currently working on her doctoral studies at the University of Houston. Ms. Bennett has 21 years of experience as an educator. She was a teacher in Detroit, Michigan for 7 years. She then joined Cypress-Fairbanks as a teacher at Truett Middle School, where she was selected as their spotlight teacher. She also served as the Director of Instruction helping teacher at Truett before moving to Campbell Middle School to serve as the Director of Instruction for 6 years. She served 4 years as the Assistant Principal at Andre Elementary School. Tracy participated in the Aspiring Principal Institute, the Region 4 Aspiring Superintendent Academy, and serves on our Leadership Development Continuum Committee. She enjoys reading, crafting, and spending time at home with her husband, Rick, and their 2 children, Jessica, who is a third-year student at the University of Oklahoma, and Ricky, who will be a senior at Cypress Creek High School. Please join me in congratulating Ms. Tracy Bennett.
Thank you, Dr. Ogletree, the board, and Dr. Henry. Thank you so much. I am very blessed for this opportunity to serve in this capacity. As Roy said, I started my career at Truett, and I am very excited to be able to go back to the community where I started in Cy-Fair to continue the legacy that Stephanie started at Horn. I could not be here without the support of everybody at Truett, Campbell, and Andre, and also the support of my family. I want to thank my son, my daughter for all of the times that I said I will be there, and I got there a little late, but I made it. And I also want to thank my mom for taking me to Mississippi, where my grandmother was an English teacher and taught me how to love learning and reading. And I want to instill that in all of the students who I can touch at Horn. My husband is my biggest supporter, and he's actually watching baseball in Japan. And I can't say come home because that's a 14-hour flight, but he's watching. I woke him up to be here to be supportive. And I do want to thank everybody, and it is truly a blessing. And thank you again for this honor.
Thank you, Tracy. Our seventh announcement, in case you're not counting, our seventh announcement is our new principal at Hamilton Elementary School, Mrs. Sage Papiano. Sage received her Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education from Stephen F. Austin State University and her Master in Counseling from Prairie View A&M University. Ms. Papiano has 25 years of experience as an educator. She served as a 5th grade teacher in Dibble ISD and a 3rd grade teacher in both Spring Branch and Katy ISD before joining Cypress-Fairbanks as a 2nd grade teacher at Millsap Elementary. After serving as an elementary teacher for 11 years, Sage was named counselor at Danish Elementary School. She also served as counselor at Aragon and Salyards Middle Schools. Sage is a graduate of the Rice Educational Entrepreneurship Program and the Aspiring Principals Institute. She enjoys traveling, shopping, and being outside wherever there is a body of water and sun. She and her husband, Rich, have been married for 28 years and have 2 sons, Nick, who is a young life leader serving students at Cypress Falls High School, and Jack, a senior at the University of Houston, who is graduating in December. Both are products of CFISD. Please join me in congratulating Sage on her new leadership opportunity.
Thank you. Dr. Ogletree, Board of Trustees, Dr. Henry, thank you so much for the opportunity to serve as a principal of Hamilton Elementary. It's like coming home again because that's where these boys went through school, so I'm super excited. I could not be here without all my family and my friends, my Goodson family, my new Hamilton family. Thank you for being here, and also 3 mentors that have just helped me along the way. Jill Smith, I saw Jill Smith, Sherry McCaig, where's Sherry? Sherry McCaig, and then Rich Dixon's watching somewhere. Hi, Rich. So I want to introduce my family. This is my husband, Rich, my son, Jake, my daughter-in-law, Caitlin, and my son, Nick. And my mom is watching in McKinney, so we can wave to my mom watching in McKinney, Texas. Thank you again so much.
Thank you, Sage. Our final principal announcement and only secondary principal announcement is for Cook Middle School, Mr. Martin Drayton. Martin received his Bachelor of Science in Teacher Education from Grambling State University and his Master's in Educational Administration from the University of Houston, Victoria. Mr. Drayton has 19 years of experience as an educator. Martin was a teacher in Fort Bend and Houston ISD and an assistant principal and principal in Van Vleck ISD. He also served as a middle school principal in Royal Independent School District. In 2007, he joined Cypress-Fairbanks as an assistant principal at Cypress Ridge High School and served in this position for 8 years. Martin has served as a director of instruction at Cypress Ridge High School for the past 4 years. He has also served as a summer school principal for 6 years. Martin served on the CF Teacher Evaluation and Support System Implementation Advisory Committee, the CFISD Discipline Committee, and has served as a mentor for new directors of instruction. Martin's hobbies include cooking, traveling, and spending time with family and friends. He and his wife, Rhonda, have been married 17 years. They have 1 son who lives in Louisiana. Martin also shared that his mother, Claudia, is a retired principal and former teacher at Cook Middle School. She is in her 51st year in education at Cyfair High School. Please join me in congratulating Martin Drayton.
Thank you, Dr. Ogletree, Dr. Henry, CFISD Board of Trustees. I appreciate you. I first want to be thankful for God's good grace for bringing me here. I want to say thank you to my father, who's gone to glory, but he had the insight to name me Martin Luther. And it's, it's kind of hard not to reflect on leadership when you're named after one of the greatest leaders in the world. I want to introduce a couple of people that are here with me, and when I introduce you, I need you to stand up. I want to introduce my mom, Claudia Adams Drayton. 51 years in education. She taught me self-worth, compassion, respect, and kindness. And for that, I appreciate you. I would like to introduce my beautiful wife, LaRonda Matthews. I'm gonna stay standing. Oh, God. She's the girl I fell in love with when I first saw her in the 7th grade. I'm thankful for my coach, one of the most inspirational professionals that I've ever had in my life, Miss Stephanie Michelle. Stand up, Miss Michelle. She taught me to lead with heart, high expectations, resiliency, and tough empathy. And she also taught me to be purposeful with my words. So I did that. And I want my Cook family to stand up. I walked in the door and they literally embraced me. Mr. Garcia was there, and I believe Mr. Fanning and Ms. McKidd. They literally embraced me, and I appreciate you. Miss Maggie Wiley is not here, but I want to say that I appreciate her as well, and I would like to say this. We are biologically designed to take care of one another. When we hug, when we love one another, when we do something kind, you get that smile in your face. That's oxytocin that gets released in your brain. And that's what I plan to do. Board of Trustees, Dr. Henry, Dr. Ogletree, I plan to take care of the Cook family. Like Deshaun Watson, I'm going to take us all the way to the championship.
Oh, please. Well, I don't know about he said Tom Brady. Yeah. Oh, God.
Do you care to say anything about Dak?
Due to respect for Morton, I will not respond.
Next will be Dr. Linda Macias.
Good evening, Dr. Ogletree, board members, and Dr. Henry. It is an honor to introduce Solana Singh as our new principal our new director for the Maybelline Carpenter Center. Sol received her bachelor's degree from the University of Texas at Austin and a master's of education in educational administration from Prairie View A&M University. Sol has 15 years of experience as an educator. She began her career in CFISD as an adaptive behavior teacher at Cypress Ridge High School. As a teacher leader at Cy Ridge, Sol served as a special education department chair and as a lead mentor. She was promoted to special education administrator in 2012, and then most recently served as an assistant principal there for 2.5 years. Prior to her service in education, Sol worked as a counselor for the Brown School Psychiatric Treatment Facility and Community Program, and as a community caseworker for Crossroads Community Partnership for Youth. Sol is also the author of the book, Thank You for Smiling. I recommend everybody read it. She brings vast experiences to her new role and passion for working and supporting our students and staff at the Carpenter Center. Please join me in congratulating Sol Singh.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ogletree, Board of Directors, Dr. Henry, Dr. Macias. Thank you so much for this opportunity to truly serve in my passion. This is why I was born. It was to help students who need a lot of extra love. With that, I need a lot of extra love to serve those. And I'm sorry I came after Drayton. We grew up together in Cy Ridge, so I'm not as fancy as he is. But I really do believe that family cultivates us. Beyond the Cy Fair family, my family at Cy Ridge really is why I'm standing here today. So taking the spirit of Mr. Garcia, my first principal who gave me a chance at Cy Fair, he believed in me. I really walked in the door and said, I want to work with these kids, and gave me an interview this next day, and I was offered an opportunity. So thank you, Mr. Garcia. I also have a great mentor here, Drayton, which is Miss Michelle. Sometimes she had to grab me kicking and screaming, so I do appreciate your love, your mentorship, and just truly just your leadership. And then to the rest of my Cy Fair family, thanks for being those listening ears when I just need someone to talk to. Also, my family is here. My son is not here. He's at Texas State to finish up his senior year there. And then he has a new girlfriend, so I think that's really why he's not here. But I'm going to thank my daughter, Nafia. She's a senior this year at Cy Ridge High School. She said she's not standing because she's in the front. But really, a sacrifice comes along with being in leadership, and so she's giving a lot of me to be able to serve the families of Cy Fair. And then for the love of my life, Curtis, for being here. He is the one that listens to me at 1 o'clock in the morning when I have new ideas or I need to talk about something. So thank you for being there. And I have a very special guest, Mr. Laskowski. He's actually a teacher at Winfern High School. He wrote me an email that inspires me every day. And so those days when it gets kind of tough, I really pull your email out and I read it. So thank you for being that inspiration for me every single day. So thank you again for this opportunity.
Next, it is with great pleasure that I introduce our new Assistant Superintendent for Educational Support Services, Barbara Lewandowski. Barbara received a Bachelor's of Science and Master's of Administration degrees from the University of Houston. Additionally, Barbara was recently accepted and attended the Harvard School Program for Turnaround School Leadership. Barbara has 33 years of experience as an educator, all in Cy Fair ISD. She began her career as a special education teacher at Bain and Metcalf Elementary. Barbara then served for 2 years as an elementary facilitator, similar to what is now an instructional specialist at Metcalf, before being promoted to special ed coordinator in 1995. She has served in her most recent role as the Director for Elementary Curriculum and Instruction since 2007. Barbara leads the Assistant Principal Group and supports the Assistant Principal Mentoring Program. Please join me in congratulating Barbara Lewandowski in her new leadership role.
Thank you all. Dr. Ogletree, Dr. Henry, and Board of Trustees and Associates. I am so blessed and honored, I can't even tell you. I have people here. It is beautiful. It's beautiful to see, and it's beautiful to know that I'm in Cy Fair. There is no better district than Martin. We can praise God right here. How beautiful is that, Dr. Henry? Thank you. It's because of you and your leadership, and I want to thank you for that. I am excited. I'm excited to come home to special ed, but I'm also going to be working with the bilingual and the psychological services, and I am excited by that, and I am blessed. And I want to introduce my family. This is my husband, George, and George and I have been married 32 years. And it's been wonderful, 32 years. And you know what? He supports me, not at 1 in the morning, but he supports me with just listening and just hearing what's going on. And then my son, Zach, is a student at A&M, and he's here. Would y'all please stand up? Thank you. People are like straining. And I have to point out a couple of people. Dr. Henry, you said there's always someone who taps you, someone who says, move forward, it's time. And that person was Dr. Debbie Emery. Would you please stand? When I was a teacher at Metcalf, and she said, Barbara, you need to get your master's. You never know what's going to happen. And so I have her to thank for just standing right here before you. I thank her, and then sometimes I blame her. It depends on the day. And then from Debbie, I go to Cheryl. Dr. Salyard, stand up. I have Cheryl Salyards. Oh my gosh, y'all. Look at my two mentors right here, just in this row. Yeah. Okay, but I'm not done. Then I staying in special ed, I go to Jane Flynn. From Jane Flynn, I have these other people in special ed, Claire, Jan, all the people, Carrie Lawrence, all these people, and I'm not going to leave anyone out, Linda. And then I move into general ed, and I have Mary Jedlowski. And Mary is also like someone. And then I can't forget principals and assistant principals. That's the hardest part. I'm going to miss you guys because you give me the energy, but I'm not going to forget about you because that's what I'm going to need as I move into my new position. And then I have my friends from C&I. Please stand. Stand. You're C&I. Joe, you're C&I. Joe is now in C&I. Sorry, Dr. Henry. He is now in C&I. These are the special people, and Sue, I'm going to miss you, but you all know I love you. And then I have my new friends that I'm coming to in special ed. And so you can tell there is nothing better than this opportunity because you know what? All of our kids are going to be successful. They're all in it. And so we're all in it to make sure our kids are successful. Thank you very much.
I almost said amen when you got to try to remember where I was there. Great. Hey, we're happy to have State Representative John Rosenthal in our audience tonight. John, would you stand? Hey, John. Hey. At this time, we're going to jump ahead in our agenda to item 6. Are you all through? Maybe, are you all through?
We're through.
Okay, you sure you don't have another?
Sure.
Okay, all right. That's item 6M. The board will consider approving the naming of Middle School 19 and the renaming of Winfern School of Choice. Dr. Henry.
Motion?
A motion. Let's have a motion first.
Mr. President, I move that the board approve the naming of Middle School number 19 and the renaming of Winfern School of Choice as per the Superintendent's Memorandum of August 8th, 2019.
I second that motion.
All right. Any discussion? All right. Well, let's vote on it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's all vote. All those in favor, raise your right hands. All right. Good. Do we need another motion for the other? No. You did both of them? Okay, Dr. Henry.
Thank you, Dr. Ogletree, trustees. Now y'all wonder who is in the memorandum, don't you? Some folks in here don't know. I would ask if they would, I would ask all of our trustees if they would step down in front like they did earlier. And I would like to ask Mr. Leonard Brodgam to join them right in the center down here. I am pleased to announce the renaming of Winfern School of Choice to the Leonard Brodgam Center. The Brodgam Center is located at 13102 Jones Road, a newly renovated campus that formerly housed Matsky Elementary and more on Jones Road. Leonard Brodgam spent 37 years in education, all in Cypress-Fairbanks ISD. He began his teaching career in 1970 at Cyfair High School as an industrial arts teacher before moving to Dean Middle School in 1976, serving as an assistant principal for 6 years, and at Watkins Middle School for another 2 years. Leonard continued his career in education as a principal at Campbell Middle School for 8 years and then became the principal of Langham Creek High School for 4 years. In 1997, Leonard was named as the Assistant Superintendent for Student Services, a position he held until his retirement in 2007. During Leonard's teaching tenure, his teams were routinely successful at the state level, capturing multiple championships at the annual State Industrial Arts Fair. While as an assistant superintendent, Leonard oversaw graduations, athletics, student discipline, and security. He and his team were responsible for the implementation of the district's first security cameras and student identification badges and managed the first positive behavioral interventions and supports PBIS programs in CFISD at Cypress Ridge and Cypress Springs High School. Since his retirement, Leonard has remained actively engaged in the district and community. Leonard shared that after all that CFISD did for him, both personally and professionally, the least he could do was give back to the district and community. I present to you Leonard Brodigam, namesake of the Leonard Brodigam Center. And Leonard, you're headed that way. The microphone is yours.
I'll try to keep it short after. Congratulations to all the new principals. Been there, done that, and good luck. That's sincere. That's very sincere. It's a very difficult job. I was there for 12 years, and it was some of the best times of my life. I want to thank Dr. Ogletree, all the board members, Dr. Henry. I really appreciate this what you've done for me. It's such a tremendous honor to have a school named after you. There's, I don't think, any higher reward for an educator than that. So, thank you. Please know that I'm very much appreciated. I'm very honored, but very humbled by your support. Cyfair has been so good to my family and to me. All my kids went through Cyfair. My son-in-law, my daughter-in-law went through Cyfair. My wife worked in the district for 20 years also. I'm blessed to have had the opportunity to work in Cyfair School District. It's a phenomenal district. I saw it grow from 7,000 students to 117,000 now, 5 schools to I don't know how many schools now. I mean, I should not 5 schools, but 1 high school, 2 junior highs, and 5 elementaries is what it was when I started. So with that, I would like to introduce my family, and I'd like for them to stand. It may be a little bit difficult, but for my wife, she has some mobility issues, but my wife, Charlotte Brodigam, She and I celebrated our 45th wedding anniversary June 1st, and so if it wouldn't been for her, there's no way that I would have been able to accomplish what I did. There was a lot of long nights as a secondary principal and a central office administrator, and she took care of raising our kids. So thank you, love you. My daughter, Angie Lucas, who's a teacher at Warner Elementary. She's a reading specialist. She's starting her 13th year. Her husband, Corey Lucas, my son-in-law, my oldest grandson, Cameron Lucas, who's going to be a senior at Bridgeland, the first graduating class there. So, and he's very optimistic about getting into U of T. So, Tom, we may need a recommendation, Tom. my granddaughter, Rebecca Lucas. She's a 7th grader at Salyards, and her best friend since kindergarten, Mia. Will you stand up too? Glad you came. Mia's my step-granddaughter. My son and his family, and they may be watching via live stream from Disney World in Orlando. I can't believe he wouldn't come here rather than go stay in Disney. But if you're watching, love y'all. He and his wife, Amanda, and he has 3 children, Bo, Brindley, and Briley. Then I want to introduce some of my dear friends who were also mentors, and right there beside me, Charlie and Jan Goodson. Raise your hand or Tom and Martha Struther. As many of you know, Martha is the principal at the Brigham Center. She and I worked together at Campbell. She was my director of instruction. Is Jane Humphreys here? Her husband is, I think, in the hospital. I don't know if I should say that, but he's recovering, so he's getting better. Debbie and Carl Emery. Debbie is one of my big mentors also. Can't leave out my buddy, Mr. Texas, Robert Mars. He just finished up a stellar career at Campbell at 40 years there. And not going to leave out another dear friend who was probably a part of this decision-making or encouragement, is Deborah Stewart. Yeah. Thank you. And I've got a lot of people I see in the audience. If you worked with me at Cypher, probably all of those, I don't know if they're living anymore. If you work with me at Cypher, Dean, Watkins, Campbell, Langham, or in the student service, if you would stand, I'd like to recognize and thank you for your service as well. Thank you. Thank you. Again, Dr. Henry and Board of Trustees, thank you for this fabulous honor. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Leonard. And while we're getting ready for our next one, Gary, you need to take these guys out for pizza tonight, and it's my treat. I'll pay for it if you'll take them out, okay? Because they've really stuck through this evening. Oh, I'm not just saying that. I'm telling the truth. I didn't say all you could eat. Well, we also have a new middle school that we're going to be opening in 2020, the fall of 2020. And I am pleased to announce that middle school number 19 will be named after Harold R. Rowe. So, Harold, if you would join us up here. Harold R. Rowe Middle School is located on the Cypress Park High School multi-campus site on West Green and is scheduled to open in August of 2020. Harold Rowe dedicated 21 years to education. He began his career in CFISD in 1991 as the Director of Computer Service. In 1994, he was named the Senior Director of Technology Services for 5 years, and in 1999 was appointed the Assistant Superintendent of Technology Services. In 2003, Harold was promoted to Associate Superintendent of Technology Services and School Services, a position he held until his retirement in 2013. During Harold's 21-year career in CFISD, he initiated and implemented several large instructional and administrative technology projects, such as the one-to-one laptop initiative for over 7,500 high school juniors, distance learning set up on every campus, the TransFinder bus routing system that included GPS fleet tracking, fleet maintenance, and field trip management, the virtual volunteer network, and over $165 million in technology bond projects. During Harold's tenure, he and his technology team completed a network upgrade and wireless overlay for all campuses, providing wireless coverage at 85 campuses and the Instructional Support Center. In 2014, Harold was recognized as one of the district's 75 most influential honorees during its 75th anniversary Diamond Jubilee celebration. Although Harold was responsible for multiple areas throughout his career, everyone in here that's ever worked with Harold knows what his nickname was. It was Mr. Customer Service. Harold always had the interests of others first. He was and is a true servant leader. I present to you Harold Rowe, namesake of Harold R. Rowe Middle School.
Wow, colleagues. I'm normally up here with a PowerPoint presentation talking about technology or some operating issue, but here it's deeply personal and emotional. So, just stay with me for a little bit. Leonard, congratulations to all the principals, as he said. Congratulations, you're great leaders and why this district is so wonderful. Dr. Ogletree, thank you, Board of Trustees, Dr. Henry, for this action and honor. Is no doubt any namesake will share with you that this is the most humbling and exhilarating experience ever in your life. And I know that I and our family are still in shock and awe. A school is a place where our children, and indeed our future, is nurtured and developed by great teachers, principals, district leadership, the board, and the greatest of all school districts. It is the greatest of all school districts. You heard it tonight. To have one's name attached to a school is the most meaningful thing that can happen in your life. I can't fully express the depth of my gratitude. I thank you. And all of you know accomplishments are done by teams. And so throughout my career in the district, I've been fortunate to have been part of many excellent teams who've really done the work that this honor represents. To those teams and all of my colleagues I've worked with in the district throughout my career, I say thank you for what you have done and what many of you continue to do every day for our children. Thank you for that. I'd like to introduce my family members who are with us tonight. I'll start with my lovely wife, Sandy, who we've been married for 49 years. Please stand. She doesn't want to. She's the encourager in chief, and as Leonard and others have said, there are a lot of nights I didn't make it home right at dinner time, and she gave me a pass. My son Kevin and his wife Casey are here tonight. Would you please stand? Their son Philip is at UT, kind of settling in. He's loading up the dorm room or the apartment or wherever he's staying this year, but he just left Saturday. We miss him. My other son, Brian, and his wife, Shannon, and their 3 children are appropriately, as I was sharing with Ms. Winkie earlier, they are at the most important thing, which is at Meet the Teacher. So, and that's in Conroe ISD, Reverend. So they're up there tonight at Meet the Teacher, and they wish they could be here. To all the colleagues and friends here tonight, I thank you. Just like in the past, you've always been with me and encouraged me and supported me. And without this, none of this recognition, which I really view as your recognition as well, please. Thank you, Board, for this honor. I will cherish it forever and do my best every day for the students at that school. I can't say the name. It's just incredible to even try to say the name. But my deep appreciation. Thank you so much.
All right. Before we take our break, we are honored tonight to have other namesakes present, and we're going to ask the namesakes in the room tonight. Would you please stand so we can applaud you? As well as all former CFISD employees. If you used to work for the district and you came back for this meeting tonight to honor the, anyone else? Yes. All right. We'll now take a 5-minute recess. All right. We're going to reconvene now. We're at the board comment section of the agenda. Any board member may make a comment during this portion of the agenda without prior posting being required. Comment items may not pertain to the character of any student, staff, or board member and may not be discussed or deliberated upon at this meeting. All right. Do we have anyone? Okay, Debbie.
I just want to say I can't remember of a board meeting, a better board meeting than what we just had when we celebrated so many great people in our district. You know, Dr. Henry says Cy-Fair is a destination place. And it truly is, because my husband and I made that decision 41 years ago to move out to Cy-Fair because of the school district, and to see all of the great people that we have celebrated tonight for accomplishments, and then our namesakes. And, you know, I can't think of two finer men to have one of our school buildings named after than Leonard Brodigam and Harold Rowe. They both were on my board of directors at Cy-Fair Federal Credit Union some years back, and their leadership is tremendous, both within the school district and then also at the credit union. But it just once again proves what a destination school district this is. And I say that because just the past 2 weeks in our district have been amazing. We experienced summer school graduation, and then last week we had the leadership conference where we welcomed them back, and then on Friday the new teacher orientation where we welcome new teachers, and we just have the best and the brightest in education here in Cy-Fair. And I want to say, too, if you want to feel old, when Dr. Karen Stockton was recognized tonight, I was sitting back thinking about some years ago when she was a college student. I knew her through her parents at the credit union. And to see where she is today is just, it's just so heartwarming. And I'm so excited for these individuals we honored tonight to know the opportunities that they have within our school district, and other great educators that are yet to come to have the same opportunities.
All right. Anyone else? Tom?
I'd like to echo the comments that Debbie made, and I was with her at each of those stops. Truly magnificent are 10 appointments, 2 nominations, very special. Also significant, but perhaps not as significant as a new principalship or naming a school. I reviewed the June board meeting, which I missed. I was impressed by the thorough and thoughtful budget presentation by CFO Smith, and so you get a little tip of the hat tonight. I will note that you didn't talk any less than your predecessor. You know, I would also comment that for both the Leadership Conference and the new staff orientation again this year. Both were superb. A tip of the hat to the Berry Center staff, those who pulled the organization of this together. It was seamless. It ran very smoothly, but also special recognition to Dave DeJean and his elves for putting together the vignettes, which demonstrated thoughtful comments from leadership and spotlight teachers that brought out both the emotive but the cognitive aspects of teaching and leading in this amazing district. One interesting side effect from staff welcome that day. I listened to the new staff members who sat behind me, but also in the hallways. Not only were they excited to be here, they were impressed and awed with how they were treated coming into the Berry Center and by the leadership by this district. So a job very well done, and it will continue to pay many benefits in the future. So I thank you.
Okay, Bob.
Well, I'm pretty much going to just piggyback onto the first two, because it was absolutely awesome to see the welcome to the new teachers, and also all you returning teachers. It's just fabulous to have you coming back into our district, seeing a district that is doing as well as it is, and I'm very proud of them. So many accolades for the Leadership Conference, and also to the students. Welcome back to another year, 2019, 2020. But when we talk about the new teachers, one of the amazing things, and this is a shout out to Dr. Stewart and her team. I met people from Chicago, from West Virginia, from North and South Carolina. I met them from New York. I met them from England. I met them from Japan, and I met them from Romania. And it's amazing we're bringing people in from all over the world to our district to educate our students. What a fabulous thing to have happen. And like Tom, it was fun to listen and to talk. And there was a break that was kind of interesting, because we had a break when we had to go and meet somebody and talk to them. And I ran around the corner and grabbed a young man, and what I didn't realize was that he was deaf. And he had an interpreter, and he's going to be, I think, at Cy Woods, and I think have a deaf ed program there. And I got to tell you, 45 years ago, I learned the alphabet, and I was able to spell his name out, and I didn't mess it up. And he was just an awesome young man. I can't wait to go visit his class. But I'm very proud. Deborah, y'all did an awesome job, and I know you're still looking, and I know we're looking at pre-K, and I don't know. It's just, it's amazing. This, having the opportunity to serve on this board with these people is the highlight of my life here in Cy-Fair. And kind of like what Debbie said, we came here 45 years ago. We beat you by 1 year, Debbie. And that was specifically because of the education being offered in this district, and it has continued as it did before we got in. So that's it. Thank you.
All right, anyone else? All right, thank you, board members. We'll now move on to the citizen participation portion of our agenda. And first up tonight is John Rosenthal. I'm going to ask you to come up, Representative Rosenthal. We have 3 minutes, and the green light will come on and when you begin, and then your yellow light will come on when there's 30 seconds, and then the red light for the conclusion of your remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Ogletree, Dr. Henry, and the Board of Trustees for always welcoming me here and allowing me to comment. For those of you that don't know me, my name's John Rosenthal. I'm your Texas State District Representative for House District 135. I'm the only district that is only Cy-Fair Independent School District. And if you don't know me, I'm a mechanical engineer by trade. It's the very first time I've ever run. I'm a first-time legislator. We just came out of a great session where we got a bunch of extra money for school finance reform. We want to go back and make sure that that's sustainable, so we've got more to do, but I was really happy about that. And like you guys, I moved out here for the schools. I live out here with my wife. We're right off of West and Jackrabbit Road. We've been residents of the community here for about 12 years. My kids graduated from Cy-Fair high schools. One from Jersey Village, Janet from Jersey Village, and Brian from Cy Falls. So one of the main reasons I wanted to come tonight is because I'm going to have a town hall at Cy Falls High School on September the 5th. That's at 6:30 p.m. And so public's welcome to come out, interact with your rep. It's my intention to be present, to be visible, and to serve you and to serve the district. Okay? I'm sort of sad that the principals all left. It's so cool to be here on the night when all the principals are recognized. I know Miss Stephanie Michelle was recognized a couple of times, and then I actually recognized her during the session as the principal of the year for secondary. She's principal at Cy Ridge, and then Dorinda Klein was here also, principal of the year for Hargrove Elementary. So really was happy to do that. What was the other thing that I want to say before I run out of time here? As far as being accessible to you all, my office is in the Cy-Fair Federal Credit Union building at 9601 Jones Road. It's right at Jones and West. We have regular hours. I have my district director here, April Henshaw, who works in the office full time. So I take appointments. I'm available to you, and I'll advocate for you. And it looks like I got about 30 seconds left, so I'll just thank you again. What I'm going to say in the last few seconds is I'm struck by the community, by the commitment of the families. This whole district feels like a family, and I'm really just pleased, proud, and honored to be a part of this family and to represent you all in Austin. So thank you again for letting me speak tonight. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Representative Rosenbaum. Our next speaker is Anthony Boutros.
Hello all. My name is Anthony Boutros, and I am a 2016 Langham Creek alumnus. 3 years ago, I had the opportunity to actually shadow then Assistant Superintendent Stuart Snow at one of these meetings. And it is because of opportunities like these and so many others that CFISD provided that I was called to public service and achieved a greater potential than I could have possibly imagined, including becoming the 2019 Truman Scholar from Texas. I say this today because I'm here to pay forward my gratitude for CFISD by hoping to advance justice and inclusivity for students with disabilities. During the summer before my senior year, after months of debilitating lower abdominal pain and losing more than 40 pounds in a few weeks, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. And I spent most of my senior year adapting to shifting medical regimens and changing diets and lifestyle. My teachers were very supportive, even in the absence of any formal accommodations for these invisible disabilities. And they were especially supportive when I had to receive receive emergency surgery to remove an abdominal abscess. And this procedure and recovery caused me to miss a little over 2 weeks of school. When I returned, I worked really hard to make up missed work and prepare for my AP tests. I did well. And then when final seasons came around, I picked up my exemption card and I tried to get exempt from my finals, and I was denied even when I protested to the administration because the policy is no more than 3 absences. So this was even though I had medical exemptions for most of these absences. I say this because exemptions are a form of recognition for the hard work and dedications that students put in throughout the year. And it might not feel like a very big deal, but I felt punished, I felt isolated, and I felt less than when I showed up to my finals and there were only a few students there. And the reason that I was there wasn't because I didn't work hard and I didn't show up, but because of my disability. And so I can't speak very long, but I do have 3 very quick policy recommendations that I would like to present to the board in the hopes that students with disabilities don't have to face this kind of isolation. The first is to recognize students with disabilities in exemption policies, and if absences are due to disability, they should not count against students. The second is a formal, proactive, accountable, and communicated accommodations process for students with disabilities. And then the third is a small lesson in health class on the social models of disability, so that students are aware of what disability is, the communities that exist for it, and how to move forward later in college to get accommodations and throughout their life, so we know our rights. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Boutros. Thank you. Agenda items 4A and 4B were discussed at the board work section on Thursday night. Agenda items 4C and 4D were discussed in closed session also on Thursday night. We will now proceed with the consensus items. We do need to remove, I'll do that after we do the action items that are under just the consensus. 5A, the board will consider approving tax refunds of $500 or greater for Cypress-Fairbanks ISD. 5B, the board will consider approving minutes of the June 27, 2019 regular board meeting. And on Thursday night, we did take action on item 6A in the board work session. We're about to move to the non-consensus action items that will move to consensus, but we need to move item 6I from the consensus, this portion of our agenda, so we can vote on it separately for Mr. Jackson. Okay, 6B, the board will review, and these are items that were moved to consensus. 6B, the board will review and consider approving the revised internal audit charter. Item 6C, the board will consider appointing a board member to serve as a representative on the District Safety and Security Committee. Item 6D, the board will consider approving the issuance of career and technical education CDE teaching permits to applicants in lieu of standard teaching certifications as established in law. Item 6E, the board will consider authorizing the superintendent to finalize and execute an agreement between the University of Houston Clear Lake for Health Services Psychology PSYD program. Item 6F, the board will consider approving 2019-2020 to 2020 Cypress-Fairbanks ISD Student Code of Conduct. Item 6G, the board will consider approval and execution of the replat for property at the Barker Transportation Center. Item 6H, the board will consider approval and execution of the replat for property at Campbell Middle School Complex. Item 6J, the board will consider approving on first reading additions, revisions, or deletions to district policies, and that is CO Local Food and Nutrition, COA Local Food and Nutrition Management, COB Local Food and Nutrition Management, DCB Local Employment Practices, Term Contracts, DH Local Employment Standards of Conduct, DIA Local Employee Welfare, Freedom from Discrimination, Harassment, and Retaliation. And item 6K, the board will consider approving on second reading additions, revisions, or deletions to district policies. GKA Local Community Relations, Conduct on School Premises. This is a revised. GKB, Local Community Relations, Advertising and Fundraising. This is a revise. And then item 6N, the board will consider approving the superintendent's recommendation to give notice to Monique Garibaldi that it is proposed her employment with the district under continuing contract be discharged. It is further recommended the president of the board notify the teacher of the proposed action to discharge her employment pursuant to 21-156 of the Texas Education Code. 6O, excuse me.
Let's ask Marty. I don't remember.
Okay. These were not.
Marnie.
Morning.
Marnie, Dr. O has a question for you.
I don't think these were supposed to be on the consensus item, consensus agendas. Okay. All right. All right. We will.
Sorry about that.
We'll move that. All right, 6N is not on the consensus agenda. I may have a motion for our consensus agenda, please.
Mr. President, I move that the board approve the consent agenda as recommended and/or amended.
I second that motion.
Any other discussion?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, question.
On the appointing a board member as a representative to district safety and security, I know we discussed it, but shouldn't we include in that Debbie was the one that we've appointed to serve on that committee?
Sure.
Right?
Yes. That's Debbie Blackshear.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then what about 6F? Marnie, do we have to include that vaping
The
as
name?
we have to vote on that separately, or what do we do?
No.
No, what was placed before you, that's the purpose of the Committee of the Whole workshop. We give you the code, and then you look at it, and then we did decide after a question that Mr. Jackson asked, actually, I think before the board meeting started, about is a vape, does that fall under kind of the litany when we talk about electronic cigarettes? And so, Dr. Stewart said, well, let's just be crystal clear, and I think Christine Hartley had even mentioned or asked something in the year before. So we amended that to add specifically to, call that out. And so that's why we put just that page in front of you.
Okay.
So what you're voting on tonight is the current version. And so it doesn't have to be separate. It still can be on consent.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
Mr. President.
Yes.
Just a quick comment, Dr. Stewart and Ms. Sims, I certainly appreciate calling special attention to vaping, even though legally it's covered under the Code of Conduct. For a student to read it, when it's spelled out, there is no doubt that you can't bring these type of devices on campus. And at the start of last year, we did have our dog who sniffed out several of the vaping devices that had THC oil, and the outcome was not pleasant for the students or the parents, but that's the law in the state of Texas. So I appreciate y'all taking the time to spell it out with extreme clarity. Thank you.
All right. All those in favor of the consent agenda being adopted, would you please raise your right hand? All right. Thank you. We'll now go back to item 6I. The board will consider awarding bids and contracts and authorizing purchase orders as recommended in the posted agenda item. May I have a motion and a second? 6I.
So move.
Get out with that.
So moved.
Okay. May I have a second?
Second.
All right. Mr. Jackson will be abstaining from this to avoid any potential conflict.
And Mr. President, may I make a comment?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Once again, this year, I have filed the required disclosure statement as required by law, and that is available for viewing by the public. With specificity, I have a direct stock investment that exceeds the dollar amount as specified by law, so I will abstain from voting in this area, and I have filed the document as required, as I have for each and every year that I have been on the board. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right, all those in favor of item 6I, would you please raise your right hands? All right, it is approved. We'll now go to item 6N.
Mr. President, I move the Board of Trustees give notice to Monique Garibaldi. It is proposed her employment with the district under a continuing contract be discharged.
I second.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor, would you please raise your right hands? All right, unanimous. Item 6O. This is dealing with the employment of Rakesh Jacob.
Mr. President, I move that the Board of Trustees give notice to Rakesh Jacob. It is proposed his employment with the district under a probationary contract be terminated.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please raise your right hands. All right, it's approved. Item 6P. This is Stephanie Ferrata, employment.
Dr. Ogletree, I move that the Board of Trustees give notice to Stephanie Ferrata. It is proposed her employment with the district under a term contract be terminated.
I second.
Any discussion? All right, all those in favor, please raise your right hands. All right, it is approved. Item 6L, the board will consider approving an election order calling for an election on Tuesday, November 5th, 2019 for the Cypress-Fairbanks Independent School District. Positions 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Thank you. Mr. President, I move that the board approve an election order calling for an election on Tuesday, November 5th, 2019 for Cypress-Fairbanks Independent School District trustees, position 1, 2, 3, and 4.
I second the motion.
All right. Any discussion? All those in favor of the election order, please. All right. We are now down to the superintendent's briefing.
Thank you, Dr. Ogletree. We're preparing for the 2019-20, excuse me.
Take us back. Take us back more.
2019-2020 school year, which begins Monday, August 26th. Many people have worked very hard to get our facilities ready for over 116,000 students at our 91 campuses. New student registration will begin tomorrow, August 13th, and run through August 16th from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. at all campuses. Please visit your campus website or contact your school for registration details and information. The 6th annual CFISD Back to School Expo, scheduled on Saturday, was held on Saturday, August 10th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Berry Center. It provided the CFISD community an opportunity to register for school, stock up on school supplies, courtesy of Walmart Neighborhood Market, and a special shout out to Walmart Neighborhood Market, the one at Logan Bow and Barker Cypress. They donated over $20,000 worth of supplies and produce for the event. There were also many wellness opportunities, including immunizations by the Harris County Health Department, vision screening by CFISD Health Services, and athletics physicals by Houston Methodist Willowbrook Hospital. The CFISD Bus Buddies program provides assistance to elementary students in exiting their bus at the correct bus stop during the first 2 days of school. Bus Buddies is a valuable partnership between our volunteers, schools, transportation department, and the Cyfair Houston Chamber of Commerce. Interested volunteers can sign up to be a bus buddy by calling 281-894-3950 or via the district's website, www.cfisd.net. CFISD announced its varsity football schedule for the 2019 season. The season will begin with non-district games beginning August 29th.
Amen.
7 schools will play in District 14 6A with Bryan and Tomball Memorial High Schools, while 5 play in District 17 6A with schools from Spring Branch ISD. Even though we're still 2 weeks away from starting school, I'm proud to announce that we have a Labor Day holiday for Monday, September 2nd. It will be a student and staff holiday in observance of Labor Day. All of our facilities will be closed. In the event of an emergency, please contact our security office at 281-897-4337. Thank you, Dr. Ogletree.
We've concluded our agenda for tonight. We are now adjourned. Thank you for watching and attending our board meeting.